Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 611. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is, there's no urgency to go nowhere. There's no urgency to go nowhere. In this episode, guys, I break down a hard truth that most entrepreneurs need to hear. Motion does not equal progress. Posting on social media, taking meetings, starting new projects, all of that feels good. But is it really productive? Now, without a clear destination, you're really just moving in circles. So there's no urgency to go nowhere. And we're going to dive deep into this, and I'm going to give you guys some action steps. Also, make sure you check out today's show notes. Go to the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Look for episode number 611. It will be on the front of the website. And what you're going to be able to do, guys, you're going to be able to download a free business destination AI prompt. Now, this is a super inclusive prompt, guys, that's going to help you to build a simple 90-day execution plan so you can stop guessing and start executing on purpose. Go to the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Go to the show notes for this episode number 611, and there'll be a link to download the prompt. Now, before we get to today's show content, let me just share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the free business destination AI prompt I just mentioned, on the actual show notes, and also go to getfundingready.com if you're interested in getting funding for your business. Take the short quiz. It's less than 60 seconds to see if you're eligible to get business funding. Now, let's get ready for today's show content. Today, we're going to talk about there's no urgency to go nowhere. And what we're going to focus on today is we're going to define a real 12-month target. We're going to reverse engineer your revenue goals into leads and sales numbers, and we're going to create urgency through clarity and deadlines. So once again, there's no urgency to go nowhere. So just think about this. When you wake up on a Saturday, you really don't have any plans. You may lounge around a little bit, watch a little TV, read, cook breakfast or whatever, and there's really no urgency for anything. And I get it. You need that on certain days. But as an entrepreneur, a business owner, you need to have urgency to know where you're going. So there's no urgency if you don't have a destination. Now, let's look at the opposite. Say it's Saturday morning, you're going to head on a business trip. You're heading out to Los Angeles for business or whatever. There's a sense of urgency. You know you have to leave at a certain time to get to the airport at a certain time to make sure that you don't miss your flight. And if you're like me, I'm at that airport 2.5 hours early. I'm making sure I'm ready to rock. All right. So there is a sense of urgency. And many times, unfortunately, we don't have a sense of urgency as entrepreneurs because we don't know where we're going. And that lack of urgency, guys, is killing our businesses more than the lack of capital, lack of marketing, or even the lack of experience. So it's lack of direction. Lack of direction. Remember that. We're really talking about lack of direction because many entrepreneurs feel like they're overwhelmed. They feel like they're super busy. They feel like they're grinding and hustling. But in reality, you're moving with no destination in sight. You're active, but you're not necessarily being productive. And so let's talk about first the illusion of progress. The illusion of progress. You ever notice how entrepreneurs are always doing something? We think that whatever we're doing, this action stuff is actually progress. But a lot of times it's an illusion. So posting on social media, yeah, we may have to do that based on our business. Networking. Obviously, you want to network. Taking meetings, I understand that. Starting new projects. Watching YouTube videos. Many times we have that paralysis by analysis. Taking too much time studying stuff and never putting anything into action. Listening to podcasts, launching this, launching that, building this, building that. We're always in motion, and there's nothing wrong with that. But motion does not equal progress. You can be busy every day of your life in business and still not get anywhere, right? So I want you guys to understand that being active is not the same thing as being productive. So you're checking off all of these boxes. Yeah, I did this, and this. But those boxes aren't connected to any real destination. It's almost like closing your eyes and throwing darts at a dartboard. And if you don't have a destination, guys, there's no urgency. You may have urgency for projects or things that you're working in your business, but where is your true destination? I've told this story before, and I'm going to share it again. If you've heard it before, bear with me. I'm going to make it super simple. I did a mastermind group probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and we had a great group of about 12 people in the mastermind. And the objective was, once you start the mastermind, you were going to come out with a business idea. And there was this one gentleman in there, nice guy, nice as you can be. And every week when we met to have our projects or our next steps done, he was still on step number 1. Oh, I've been reading this book. I've been researching this. I've been looking at this. Oh, I haven't done anything yet because I'm doing more research. And it got to the point where I told him, I said, bro, you're wasting your money. You have absolutely no business being in this group because you're thinking about ways not to do something. You have absolutely no destination. All right. You have paralysis by analysis. And I don't want you guys to get caught up with this. Yeah, you have to be analytic and you have to move in a certain way. But don't let it paralyze you. And remember, just taking action or being busy doesn't necessarily equate to being productive. So you have to be thoughtful and intentional about what you're doing. Okay? So that's number 1, the illusion of progress. And it's real. It's real. And we're going to talk about how we can get past this. Now let's talk about why you need a destination. All right? So let me ask you a question. Where's your business supposed to be in 12 months? And many of you are going to be like, huh? Scratching your head looking silly, right? Where do you want your revenue goals to be, right? You know, a lot of people say, oh man, I want to grow, or I want to do better. I want more customers. That's not a destination, guys. That's a wish. Okay. That is a wish. A real destination sounds something like this. I want my mortgage business to generate 50 qualified leads per month consistently within the next 90 days. That's a destination. That's a true goal. I want my consulting business to make $15,000 per month in recurring revenue within the next 6 months. That is a destination. Or it can be, I want to build an email list of 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That is a destination. Now you have a target, a timeline, and a measurable outcome. Remember that. A target, a timeline, and a measurable outcome. And guess what happens when you have those 3 things? You create urgency, and urgency comes from vision plus destination plus deadline. I'm going to repeat this. So if you can't write this down, make sure you go to the show notes. You want to go there anyway, because you're going to get that AI prompt I talked about. Go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. On the main page, it'll have a list of the latest episodes. Make sure you hit episode 611. And in the show notes, you're going to get everything I'm talking about and the AI prompt. But let me repeat that. All right. You need a target, a timeline, and a measurable outcome. And when you have those 3 things, you create urgency. And urgency comes from vision plus destination plus deadline. Okay? So you need to understand that. Target, a timeline, a measurable outcome. vision plus destination plus deadline. Now, let's talk about goals without plans are basically wishes, guys. So if you don't have a plan, you may have a goal, but if you don't have a plan to get there, it's basically a wish. So here's what most entrepreneurs drop the ball or don't do. They may even have goals, but they don't have a plan to reach those goals. And as I mentioned, goals without plans are just wishes. You can't say I want to make $120,000 this year and not know what your average sale is. You know, how many customers you need, how many leads it's going to take to get the one customer, and how many leads you need per month. So if your average product or service sells for $1,000, you need 120 sales per year, right? That's 10 per month. And if you convert at a 20% ratio, your leads to customers, that means you need 50 qualified leads per month. So what you have here now is a sales goal, a lead goal, and a monthly target. And now the question becomes, how do I generate those 50 qualified leads per month? And now you're actually moving with purpose. You understand what I'm saying, guys? You're moving with purpose. You have to understand, what your sales goals are, what your lead goals are, what's your monthly target. Remember, it's broken down into three things: a target, a timeline, and a measurable outcome. And it doesn't necessarily have to be dollar-wise. The outcome could be how many sales numbers or sales volumes or units that you move. So that's something that you really have to think about and create yourself. And that's why the AI prompt that I'm going to give you is a super prompt, and it's going to help you think, and it's actually going to give you an action plan. Now, let's talk about using AI to create urgency. And this is where AI changes the game, guys. And that's ties directly into what we talked about in BEB 602. So if you want to go back to episode 602, check that out. If you don't know how to create your plan, let AI help you build it. Everybody's using AI right now. And once again, with AI, you're either going to ride the wave to profitability and success, or you're going to get swept under the wave and drown. So you need to know how to leverage AI, okay? So you can literally go into ChatGPT and say, this is my business. This is my average sales price. This is my revenue goal. This is my conversion rate. And it's actually going to calculate how many sales you need, how many leads you need, and what you should be doing daily, weekly, and monthly. So AI is going to give you clarity, structure, priorities, and deadlines. Now, urgency, guys, is just logical after that. It's not emotional. So now you're not just feeling pressure, you're executing a plan. All right. And this is what you guys need to focus on, is executing a plan, not just doing all kind of willy-nilly BS just to have motion, right? You got to have a direction. So you can sit there and if you're in a rowboat, right, and you're sitting in a lake, you can row your ass off, right? But if you're only using that one oar, you're rowing your ass off in a circle. You're not going anywhere. You're not being productive. You have no direction. You're doing a lot of busy work, but you're not getting anywhere. So you need to understand you need direction. So when you're in that rowboat in the lake, you say to yourself, okay, I need to get to this point by this time. That creates a sense of urgency. So now you're rowing with direction and a sense of urgency. Once again, a target, that's where I'm going to. A timeline, I need to get there within 30 minutes in this rowboat, and a measurable outcome. And that's all what direction is. So we have to take business and we have to simplify it, okay? The things that you need to do, patterns and profits. I talked about patterns before. Once you have a direction, then you create the patterns that are going to help lead you to that direction. Not just throwing darts against the wall blindfolded, but being able to have true direction. Now, in order to get direction, you need to come back and reconnect to your vision, right? And here's the final piece. You need to reconnect your mind back to the destination daily, because life is going to happen. Distractions are going to happen. Shiny object syndrome is going to happen. And your written plan becomes your GPS, your compass, and your accountability partner. Okay? So there's that shiny object syndrome, especially as an entrepreneur. I did an episode called Entrepreneur ADD, right? And I have it. But I've learned how to control my entrepreneur ADD, and now I know how to focus. So if any of you guys, by a show of hands, I'm joking because I can't see you, raise your hand if you ever started researching a business idea, and by the time you got finished researching, you're on a whole new different business. You even forgot what you started doing because your entrepreneur ADD or lack of focus is taking you somewhere else because of that quote unquote shiny new object. So a lot of times we have to understand what to concentrate on so we can reach that destination. Okay. So every morning you should review your 12-month destination, also your 90-day targets and your weekly priorities. And then ask, what are the 3 most important things I need to do today to move closer to my goal? Now that reconnects you with your vision. And being able to get reconnected with your vision is imperative because it does what? It creates urgency. So you need to reconnect frequently, every day, reconnect with your vision. A lot of times what happens is once we don't reconnect with that vision, we lose path, we lose track. We're going off the beaten path. We get sidetracked by whatever it is. So you have to understand where that destination is. And as an entrepreneur, this was something that was super hard for me because I like to have multiple businesses. That's just me, and everybody works differently. I like to juggle. I have 4 LLCs. So I have literally 4 different verticals or different types of businesses that I have. I have a mortgage company. I have a media company. I have a marketing company, and I have a hot sauce company. And under those different LLCs, I have several different businesses. They're all interconnected, but once again, there are 4 different LLCs. That's just the way I work. But remember, everybody works differently. I've been a serial entrepreneur after I left corporate for over 25 plus years. I didn't start 4 LLCs at the same time. I built each one of them separately, and I always tell people, here's a tip. Get that one stream of income working first before you go out and try to build multiple streams of income. Because many times what will happen is you haven't matured that initial business or income stream yet, and now you're jumping to try to create another income stream. Many times you need to be able to get that first income stream down. Now you can start thinking about expanding and doing other things. Now, before we get to the last segment of the show, let me share my social media contact information and also my resource links. So I mentioned at the top of the show, make sure you go to BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com, go to episode 611, which is this episode, so you can get that AI prompt, okay? Get your free business destination AI prompt. Just go to the website, go to episode 611, and there'll be a download for the free prompt, guys. It's the business destination AI prompt. And what it's going to do, guys, is going to help you build a real actionable plan that you can take and use for the next 12 months. So make sure that you go there. Also, if you're looking for business funding, go to getfundingready.com to find out if you qualify for business funding. It's a quick 60-second quiz to let you know exactly where you are on the fundability scale if you're able to get funding. And if you're not, it's going to tell you what you need to do to get funding. Now, if you want to connect with me, guys, anything long, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, JAYJONES@blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Instagram, I have 2 IG accounts. The first one is J Jones for Real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Second one is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Twitter or X, you can connect with me at jjones001, JAYJONES001. LinkedIn, connect with me there. Go to LinkedIn, type in J Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and follow me there. And also, don't forget YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have additional content on YouTube that is not on the show. Now, go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and hit that subscribe button. Now, don't forget, wherever you're listening to this or watching this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We drop a new episode every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on all your major podcast platforms and YouTube. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you'll be alerted, and also share this episode. The last thing I want to say real quick, guys, make sure you check out episode 609 and 610. They're like a 2-part episode to get funding if you are an entrepreneur. And I want you guys to listen to 609 first, 610 next. And I want you to share that with your network. Share both of those episodes. Funding is so important for entrepreneurs, and many times our businesses are underfunded. And the reason is, it's not that we're not doing business. We don't know how to position ourselves to get the money. So episode number 609 and 610 are paramount if you're looking to get funding for your business. And don't keep the information to yourself. Please share those episodes with your network. There are links on the website. Just share those links with your network and help a fellow business owner and entrepreneur out to help them get positioned for funding. Now, let's go back to the last segment. And today, guys, we're talking about there's no urgency to go nowhere. And I gave you guys some examples in today's episode. Make sure that you go to the website so you can get your AI prompt that's going to help you build an actual action plan for the next 90 or so, or actually the next 12 months. And it's a business destination AI prompt. And it's a super prompt, and it's going to help you guys get direction in your business. Remember, if you don't have a destination, you're going nowhere, right? I remember when I played basketball in high school, I had a coach, and we installed this new offense and new defense. We had a new coach. I think it was my sophomore year. And so a lot of the guys weren't used to this new offense and defense. So one of my buddies was playing or trying to play defense, and he was all out of position. And my coach said, "Damn, Timmy, you're running around like a fart in a windstorm," right? And that always stuck with me, because basically you're going to go wherever the wind blows. You have absolutely no direction. And so one of the things is, with business, you need to have direction, because if you don't have direction, guess what? You're not going anywhere. Remember, there are 3 things that you need, guys: a target, a timeline, and a measurable outcome. A target, a timeline, and a measurable outcome. Once again, here's an example. I want my mortgage business to generate 50 qualified leads per month consistently within the next 90 days. Okay. That's a destination. Now, the activity and the busy work that you do, you want to put that or have that work or activity go towards meeting and getting to your destination. Not just busy work for nonsense, right? Oh yeah, I posted 5 times a day. What's your destination? I don't know. Oh yeah, I watch 8 YouTube videos on how to do this. Okay. What's your destination, and how is that going to help you? Actionable steps. Taking action. I always say there's a 3-word sentence with only 6 letters that's super powerful. And it's to be, do. To be, do. To be something, you have to do something, right? So whatever you want to be, you have to do something, meaning take action to get there, right? So direction is super important. And the faster that you hone in on this, guys, the more productive and prosperous your business is going to be. Now, I say this each and every week, family, because it is true. We get more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the blog, the online courses, the books, the ecosystem, everything designed to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Remember, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.